Another day closer to launch and another blog post from Activision, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, whoever you want to say it's by. But as the title of the video says, and as you could probably figure out by the thumbnail and things like that, this blog post is specifically about zombies. And there's a lot to zombies. There's different perks, there's Pack-a-Punch, there's Perca-Colas. There is a bunch of different things that I think you need to know about before the game actually launches and before you play zombies. And to me, what I am hearing from this blog post, everything here sounds really good. It sounds like a lot of fun. And of course, as we found out yesterday, there's a bunch of zombies camos that you can grind for on both your Modern Warfare 2 weapons and Modern Warfare 3 weapons with mastery camos and all. So I think that's going to be the major pull over to zombies this year. I'm also curious to see how fast weapons rank up in zombies and how that compares to multiplayer as well. But what the purpose of this video is to go over everything that you need to know about zombies before launch. We even get a little bit of story included in this blog post as well. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Okay, so the first little bit here is kind of stuff you already know. They talk about how the lobbies work. Really, you don't need to know about that. But then we get into the juicy things. So the first thing that you're going to notice here is if you were a DMZ player, the way that this works is essentially the same as operators within DMZ, which they implemented in the last couple of patches for DMZ. These are strike team operators, and basically you can have various pieces of equipment on your operators when you load into the game, and you can have different operators and different operator slots for the things that you want to bring. Now, on top of this, the rucksack or backpack is the other thing that they have implemented here. This was also in DMZ, but the thing that you need to know is that there are different sizes of rucksacks, and the things that you can bring out of here include perks like you were seeing there. They have PhD flopper, but also on top of that, you have valuable schematics and items that you can use in your next game to craft things, and we're going to get more into that in a minute. So then we get into our loadouts, and there's not too much interesting here other than the fact that it's very similar to DMZ once again. But the one thing that I will say is if you're grinding for camos and zombies, your insured weapon slots are going to be very, very important. And if you die and don't extract, these are actually going to be on a cooldown. Now, what you need to know about this is you have up to 3 insured slots, 2 of which you are going to have available after completing certain zombies missions. Those we'll get into later on as well. So if you're grinding camos, you're definitely going to want to extract, or you're going to lose the ability to actually use one of those insured weapon slots. Other than that, though, there's contraband stash. Those are the weapons that you actually go in and loot and then extract with. So another new thing is zombies field upgrades. These are similar to things that we've seen before, for example, in Black Ops Cold War, but they are as follows. First of all, we have Energy Mine, spawn an explosive, dealing massive damage to enemies who set it off. Then we have Frenzied Guard. This one has a slow recharge, repair armor to full, and force all enemies in the area to target you for 10 seconds. Enemy kills repair armor during this time. The next one is Slow Charge. It's called Healing Aura. It heals all players immediately, and players who are in last stand, it revives them as well, so that one's very strong. Frost Blast is damage enemies with the initial blast and slow those that enter the area of the effect. Then we have Ether Shroud, become invisible to zombies. That one was kind of the most powerful one in Black Ops Cold War. Then we have Tesla Storm. For 10 seconds, lightning connects to other players, stunning and damaging normal enemies. And by the way, you only start out with one of these, and the rest of them you unlock as you level up your player in game. So that's kind of like unlocking things in multiplayer. So the next part is a little bit confusing. There's 2 things. There's an acquisition stash and a schematic crafting. From what I understand, acquisitions are items that are going to help you out in game. So for example, PhD flopper like we had before, these are things that you can bring into game, use them, and then they will affect you throughout that game, like these perks that we're talking about. The schematic crafting, schematics are things that you're going to find in game, and essentially it allows you to create acquisition items. So in other words, you will find a schematic for PhD flopper, be able to craft that, and then use the PhD flopper in game. At least that's how I understand it. So the next thing we have is what you use to upgrade. So there's 2 things. There's Ethereum and there is an Ether tool. As far as what these are used for, the raw and refined Ethereum is to upgrade your Pack-a-Punched weapon to level 1 and 2 respectively. So raw will upgrade it to level 1, refined will upgrade it to level 2. Then there is uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary ether tools. These are going to allow you to just upgrade your held weapon to a rarer form of that weapon that's going to improve your damage that it inflicts on enemies. Then we have Perca-Colas. These essentially are replacing the gear of multiplayer. A lot of these are ones that you've seen before. First of all, we have Deadshot Daiquiri. This one is aim down sights, moves to enemy critical location, and removes scope sway. So in other words, it's auto aim to the head. Then we have Death Perception. We have obscured enemies, chests, resources, and item drops are now more easily spotted. That one's pretty much the lamest one. Elemental Pop. Every bullet you fire has a small chance to apply a random ammo mod effect. Then we have Juggernaut. That increases your health. PhD Flopper, this is the one where you dive or fall from a distance. It's going to damage the zombies. We have Quick Revive. This one has reduced the health regeneration delay time by 50% and reduced the time it takes to revive an ally by 50% as well. Speed Cola, this one allows you to reload and apply armor plates faster. Then we have Stamina Up, increase your run and sprint speed. And finally, Tombstone Soda. This one is on death. You create a tombstone stash at that location containing your backpack and inventory for the next game. So you can go back the next game and actually loot what you had the previous game. That one's pretty powerful. Then we have ammo mods. These are similar to things we've seen before, including Brain Rot, Cryo Freeze, Dead Wire, Napalm Burst, and finally Shatter Blast. And of course we have our wonder weapons as well. Some of these you probably recognize, but most of this they are trying to redact to hide it from you. So then there is the way that axe tiers and rewards are going to work. So the way that this works is inside of a mission, there are individual tasks. You do get missions and rewards for completing those tasks. Then there are missions. Missions are contained within a tier. There are many missions within a tier, and again, you get rewards for completing that as well. Then there are tiers within an act. So the act contains many tiers. The tiers contain missions, and the missions contain tasks. And when you complete those, you get stuff. There are 3 total acts, and when you complete all 3 acts, you receive and continue to uncover the mysteries plaguing the exclusion zone prior to the storyline continuation in season 1. So the story of this is going to continue in season 1, but essentially there are 3 acts with missions in them. It's going to continue on the story, and there's many things to do within there as well. And these missions that you complete are going to give you things in game like cosmetics items, double XP, things along those lines, but also give you things like insured weapon slots. Then they kind of give you the gameplay breakdown. Your job is to explore the medium, low, and high threat zones. You complete contracts. This is going to give you essence, which is the in-game currency. Then you can upgrade your weapons. You can spend your essence at machines across the map to upgrade your weapons and gear. Then you have extraction, which allows you to keep the items that you had in game and deploy with them the next one. Now, some other things that they show off is there are buy stations where you can buy things such as kill streaks, gas masks, and other essentials, as well as sell items to get more essence in game. Then we have Perca-Cola machines. These are pretty straightforward. You spend your essence, you get your perks. And of course, we have your Pack-a-Punch machine. You have wall buys. You have the mystery box. Of course, you can get your occasional wonder weapon here, and that is pretty much it. So I'm not gonna lie, this mode seems pretty good. Everything that they're saying here are things that I liked from DMZ and liked from Black Ops Cold War Zombies kind of combined into one. Now, of course, there is no PvP. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually they add in some sort of mode with that, but this is PvE. So anyone that you find in game, because other players do drop in, you're technically working alongside all of them, which is a cool little added element to zombies. But of course, as everyone knows, it's not round based. It's a zone that moves in, and your games are going to last around an hour if you go all the way to the end. So are you going to like this? I don't know, but now you can kind of know what you can expect, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about this down in the comments. Let me know what you think of zombies in Modern Warfare 3. To me, it sounds good. I'm going to be checking it out, and of course, I'm going to be grinding for all those camos. But as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. We have more launch content coming throughout the week, so stay tuned. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time. Peace.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're made